All right, LD. So take us through the Utah game. I know in the second half, kind of the run game kind of got stifled. What did you see as the development of that game and the progression of what happened as the second half came?
Get a brain freeze. Honestly, I'm kind of like mentally past that game, but I just know we got to finish better. That's the moral of the story with it. We just got to finish better, play better in the second half. I'm not really sure about all like the details of it, but I just know we got to finish better.
What did you think about how the silent snapping has gone in that game, and just since you guys have been using that more?
I mean, it definitely the operation definitely was smoother than BYU, which we had it this whole game. We didn't have it that game until like the last drive. But so, I mean, it definitely is like obviously could be more challenging for myself as like turning around and having to block and stuff like that on the move. But I mean, people in the NFL do it, so everybody has to do it. So somebody has to do it. So I mean, I feel like we adjusted well to it.
Herm apparently broke down all the penalties, and you guys have been talking about that kind of stuff in the bye week or whatever. What's your sort of thoughts about making sure that you guys are as clean as possible moving forward?
We have to play clean. I mean, honestly, it's not. I don't really know if it's like a formula. Like, if we do this, we're going to end the game with 0 penalties. It's just a matter of doing it. We have to do it. And we have to all buy in and commit as an entire team to not be penalized. And we can't have every guy saying, "Oh, I'll just get one. I'll just get one." If we all do that, we have 22 penalties, and that's terrible. So we just need to buy in and lock in and be focused individually, so that as a team we have less penalties.
To kind of piggyback off that, how do you feel through, obviously up to the bye week, that just the chemistry and everything on the offensive line has developed?
I think our chemistry is great. Like, even with just like making calls on the move and just adjusting to things in the game that we don't even have to talk about, knowing somebody's going to be somewhere without having to question it. Just, we've played together for so long now. We trust each other and believe in each other. I think it's probably, I feel like our chemistry is actually really good right now.
So how do you guys hold each other accountable when you mention, just one guy getting a penalty, one guy getting a penalty? What do you guys have to say to each other or do?
I'm not really sure on that. I mean, I'm sure guys have things, but like I said, I'm not sure if it's like because nobody's trying to get a penalty. So it's like, what do you say when the guy gets a penalty? Stop getting a penalty. So it's like I'm not really sure,
Has there been a moment over the first 7 games when you felt like, this is the Arizona State team we should be? This is when we're playing our best.
Most definitely. We've had. Let's think. I mean, our offense is so explosive. I'm trying to think to a specific time, but when we played Colorado, I like that a lot. I mean, we had several games this year where we were just clicking. Even we practiced things that weren't necessarily clicking in practice. Then we got in the game, and it was perfect. So I feel like we've shown a lot of flashes. We just need to be more consistent throughout every game because we know who we can be and we know who we are. So.
Where do you think is the greatest room for growth on the offensive line as you progress into the second half of the season?
For growth, I think we're extremely physical and we're smart. I think we need to be less penalized. Yeah.
What's the key with Washington State? Like, what do they do up front?
They do a lot of movement. That's one of those things you have to be locked in. You watch a lot of film. I mean, you watch film for everybody, but it's a lot of things that you should key on that you can get through watching film. So with them, they're athletic and they're high effort guys, and that's the guys you want to play against. So
what are the challenges with a lot of movement?
Just seeing things pre-snap, anticipating things, going over the same look so many times in practice that it feels second nature when you get out there. So nothing really surprises you.
Did you see? They had the same coordinator. Did you see anything different about their last game with not having some of their other coaches or their head coach?
Well, no, not much. I mean, when I watch the film, I try to find teams that I feel like do things similar to us, so I can kind of get a feel for how they will play us. So I don't necessarily always just watch the last game, And I feel like they've done a lot of the same things that they've done from when I played them 2 years ago. So this is a lot of movement, really.
What do you remember about that game?
Uh,
Jaden coming down and the game-winning drive?
Oh yeah, that was I remember being tired. That drive, I was probably so gassed. But that was a great game. I feel like that was one of the games that definitely like put his name out there really when we were freshmen. So that was a fun game to play in.
So if there's one thing that you guys need to do to get on a run over these final 5 games, is it just as simple as just cleaning up the penalties, or is there something else?
I mean, obviously there's always things to clean up, but if we can be the least penalized team in every game that we play in, I feel like that's pretty scary for our opponents. And I would not want to be on the defense going against us, and we have less penalties than them. That'd be pretty bad for them.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Elliot.
Appreciate you.
No problem.